Here, everybody, troubling times.
Back to Busted Open, Dave LaGreca and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer.
That's right.
World champion in not one, not two, but three different sports, Mark Henry. And so pleased to be joined. I mean, let me tell you something, Mark. First off, before we bring in our guest, MLW is one of my favorite shows of the week, and it's a big favorite in the LaGreca house now, because I don't know if you heard, Mark, but MLW is going to Poland. That's right. It's going to be available in Poland. So you know now MLW is a favorite of my wife, Violetta. But let's bring him in. The Southern Psycho himself, the one and only Mance Warner. Mance, how are you, man?
Oh, Mister, baby, I'm doing great. How y'all doing out there?
Doing great. I would have thought that they would have called you the Tennessee Manson.
Well, they usually call me, I owe people money for stealing beers and everything, but I just show up and go to work.
I just love the fact that on social media, Mark, when I was promoting that Mance was joining us this morning, I just took a picture of Bud Light. Like, you know, post that up there, and everybody knows who I'm talking about. It's Mance Warner, because he's always to make sure that he's got a beer in hand. And we just saw it on MLW TV last week, you sharing a beer in Philly with the Blue Meanie. I mean, that's a pretty cool moment right there, Mance.
It's the best, man. I show up, they give me beers, and they tell me, go do whatever you want to do. And I get paid money. It's amazing, man.
What a life. What a life. You get to go and do whatever you want and drink beer?
Do whatever I want. And I get paid to fight people, man. I cannot complain.
Wow, what a life.
You know, it's funny, Mance. We just spoke to the Nature Boy Ric Flair before you joined us, and you know, and it sounds like, Mark, when Ric Flair was talking to us, he pretty much did the same thing. You know, he went an hour in the ring, and then he would go to the bar and he would have a good time. And I think, Mance, like when you look at your career right now with MLW, you could tell. I mean, you are the Southern Psycho, and you have that edge to you. But it also looks like you're having a good time, and I think the MLW fan can tell that you have a lot of passion for what you do, and ultimately you're having a good time, which makes the fans have a good time as well.
Oh, yes, sir. I mean, it's a connection between me and the fans that they can tell I ain't bullshitting them. I show up, I ain't lying to them. I'm having a good time. I'm getting beers, they're getting beers. I'm getting paid money to fight people. You know, it's right now I'm kind of going crazy because I'm stuck in the house all day. But other than that, you know, I woke up, I did a little bit of a workout. I had 2 breakfast beers, and then jump on here and we can talk about whatever y'all want to talk about. You know what I mean?
A couple of breakfast beers.
Yeah, you need them. Got to get them in, you know.
Have you experienced the light switches coming on in the last 5 or 6 years? I watched some of your early career, and I watched the stuff from, you know, the last year and a half to now, and I see a difference in the wrestler just in a matter of a couple of years from, you know, me doing my prep. And what do you attest those light switches coming on from in the last year and a half, 2 years?
Oh, yes, sir. Well, for me, I've only been wrestling now for right around, I'd say, 4.5 years. So
yeah.
For me, it's just getting on the road, doing shows every time that you can, always being there. I mean, right now, like I said, I'm stuck in the house all day. Man, all I'm doing is watching wrestling all day long. So it's one of those things where if you're just consistently dipping your toes in the water out there or dipping your hands in the blood, I'm always out there, you know, fighting people, punching them in the mouth and whatnot. It just, you know, repetition over and over.
Yeah, I can see it, you know, and as far back as I could go, I guess those matches that I saw, excuse me, were early in your career. So, yeah, I've seen the maturation process. I've seen now, rather than there just being you putting somebody through a chair or a table or a death match type situation, now you're working where you're going to. And I see you, you know, if there's a barbed wire ropes, rather than immediately just throwing somebody into the ropes, you work not going into the ropes. I'm gonna tease it. I'm gonna tease it. And those are the little bitty things of psychology that make you able to last even longer. The more that you can do that, sometimes it's going to feel like you're going slow and you're not doing enough. You're not giving the crowd enough, but you're not. You're giving them everything by not giving them everything right away. And I love the fact that I see you maturing and doing better over the last year and a half that is hopeful. You know, I want to see even more of that stuff from you.
Yes, sir. I'm going to be calling here all the time then, man. Get on the phone here and you learn stuff. I love this.
Yeah, call in, man. Like, you know, we want to help market and promote every wrestler that wants it and that's willing to wake up early like you had to wake up today and talk shop. I'd love for you to talk to Tommy Dreamer. He is an expert on working hardcore matches, and I'm sure that he could even shed more light than I can. I can see the quality of your work getting better, and you being a better performer for your fans. But I'm sure that Tommy could spend 15 minutes with you, and you'll come away from it like, holy shit, I'm finna blow their minds. And
yes, sir.
Yeah, so man, like definitely, like call us, keep in touch with us. I'm gonna be following you more now. Well, I've always loved MLW, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on there more and get a bigger platform.
Yes, thank you.
And Mance, like Mark just mentioned about, you know, MLW, and I think that's a big difference too, Mark, is that you mentioned about that's when Mance became a part of the MLW roster, and you could really follow his story. And Mance, now that, you know, we obviously with everything that's going on in the world right now, you know, you can't hit that MLW pay window. So you're sitting at home and like, you know, what do? You mentioned that, you know, you're watching a lot of wrestling and that's going to definitely help you along. But the world of pro wrestling in a lot of ways keeps on rolling. But for a lot of people, you're stuck at home and can't leave your homes. You know, what can you do to keep yourself sharp, keep yourself in shape and get ready for when you're back on the road again?
Well, see, for me, I'm trying to take a positive spin on this stuff. There's a lot of bad stuff going on, you know, a lot of things going on right now, but I'm trying to use the time that I have, because when we're on the road and we're doing shows, we're always busy. You know, it's town to town. You're catching flights, you know. So for me, I'm trying to use all the extra time that I have now to talk to fans more often. Social media, you know, you're interacting with people more often because they're as bored as we are. We're just sitting around all day. So I've been doing, you know, more promos, more videos, throwing it on there, trying to entertain people, keep spirits up, because it's not, you know, we're just sitting around watching old Tiger King all day on Netflix, and that, you know, you're going to go crazy at some point.
Yeah, and again, you can watch MLW each and every weekend, MLW Fusion on BN Sports. You know, Mance, when you look at right now what's going on, and a lot of people, you know, for the wrestlers that aren't a part of a major company, that aren't a part of AEW or the WWE or even a part of MLW, you know, they rely a lot on their merchandise. How can people, first of all, follow you, and also how can people buy a Mance Warner t-shirt? Where can they go? Where can they find more about you and buy some of your merchandise?
Well, on social media, I got a Facebook, I got an Instagram, I got a Twitter. You put in Mance Warner, it's all in there. You'll find it. You know, MLW on YouTube, they got every episode we've ever done. You could go in there and watch L.A. Park, La Parka against Old Manser, Jimmy Havoc, and Old Manser in the barbed wire, no-rope barbed wire match. I think that broke records for their TV show. ProWrestlingTees.com, I got all kinds of T-shirts on there. I got koozies that you can put your beers in. You know, I'm getting some more of my hats made up. I'm going to ship them out. You know, just at the end of the day, I'm just trying to not go crazy out here, sit around, get my little prison workouts in with the trading cards and whatnot, and just kind of, you know, learn as much as I can, stay sharp, don't go nuts, don't get no fights in the neighborhood.
Don't hit nobody for free, brother. Free or get you locked up.
And if I get hit by someone out here in the trailer court, I'm just gonna sell the corner, man. I ain't bumping out there in the road.
Hell no. No, you got that bump card, you can't be using up extra bumps for nothing.
But yeah, I got the pro wrestling tees on there, all kinds of stuff.
Well, I'm definitely going to go and buy some shirts because, I got my Mania shirt challenge that is on day 53. I'm wearing a different pro wrestling shirt each and every day going up to WrestleMania. So I got to get that FedEx to my house. I got to go buy some Mance Warner merchandise. Again, follow Mance Warner on social media and watch Mance Warner in action on MLW Fusion, on BN Sports each and every weekend. I'm addicted to it. I love MLW. I think Court Bauer does a tremendous job, and one of my favorite personalities, one of my favorite characters, one of my favorite wrestlers is Mance Warner. And Mance, thank you so much for joining us on a Falls Count Anywhere Friday. And like Mark said, man, you have an open invitation. You have an open invite. Anytime you want to join us, I'd love to hear from you, and I can't wait till we're on the other side of this, and then we can see you in action again. Thanks so much, Mance, for joining us.
Yes, thank y'all. Thank y'all.
All right, Mance Warner joining us. A lot to get into, Mark. A lot to react to. We'll do that when Mark and I are back, right?